having over 22 years of legal practice in national and international courts, tribunals, authorities, forums, etc. He is also expert in various branches of law. Good, he is actually is having excellent reputation on resolving problems, and he is also involved in so many cases, services for the Department of Justice, Government of Social Justice, Government of India, and he is also quite active in recent court cases also, especially related to OBCs. With this note, I request a senior advocate in Supreme Court and also in High Court, Sri Ramesh Babu Garu, to address this gathering.
Thank you, Mr. Kiran. Let me know. Am I audible now, Mr. Kiran?
Yes, sir. We are able to.
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to congratulate All India OBC Students Association for organizing this wonderful webinar today. Honorable Sri Ganesh Singh Ji, Member of Parliament and who is also Chairman of Parliament Committee on Welfare of OBCs, we just heard him. Honorable Sri Kaushalendra Singh Patel Ji, Member of Honorable Commission for Backward Classes, who I understand would be joining now. Learned Sri G. Karunanidhi Ji, General Secretary, All India Federation of OBC Employees Welfare Association. Other dignitaries and delegates here, Sabiko, Namaskar. Today's discussion is on OBC's reservations, issues and challenges. Firstly, I would like to thank the creator of this title of today's webinar as OBC reservations, issues and challenges. Because from day one of the delegation of OBC reservations in India, there are several issues for its effective implementation, along with lots of challenges like court cases, creamy layer issues, ceiling in percentage of reservations, etc. There has not been a single instance where OBC reservations are fully implemented without any issue and challenges in this country. I think most of the valuable time of the Honorable Supreme Court is spent on these cases related to OBCs in this country. I really reiterate on that. It started with the case named as Indira Sahani versus Union of India. And further, Honorable Supreme Court was limelight for important cases on OBCs like Syndicate Bank case, Akhil Bharatiya Sochit Kamarchari case, that is railway case, PGI Chandigarh case, Ashok Kumar Thakur case, etc. The list is very long from Honorable Supreme Court cases relating to OBCs. There are several other lists in various high courts also. Before Indira Sahani case in Supreme Court, Government of India implemented Sri B.P. Mandal's report, that is the second BC Commission, and proposed the following. The general recommendation made by Sri B.P. Mandal was 27% of reservation should be recommended, but it should not increase more than 50%. In any states, if it is already been implemented OBC reservation and it is more than 27%, let that continue, should not affect by the Mandal Commission report. And subsequently, along with this general recommendation made by Sri Mandal, and they have also mentioned in their report and recommended to the government that candidates belonging to OBCs recruited on the basis of merit in an open category should not be adjusted in OBC category. Second thing, 27% reservation should also be made applicable to the promotions also. Reserved quota remain unfilled should be carried forward. No, these are all the points which are mentioned by Sri Mandal. Relaxation of the upper age limit. A roster system should be maintained. So out of these things, now if we see the main burning point what today we have is 27% blanket reservation for OBCs in employment and education was clearly been given by Sri Mandal. And OBC reservations should be made available in promotions along with the appointments also. This was the categorical recommendation by Sri Mandal, second BC Commission. But when the case came in the Honorable Supreme Court, the defending lawyers, knowing that they may not win this situation in striking out the OBC reservations, because by the time our Indian constitution was amended with Article 15(4) to include the reservations for the backward classes and SC and STs. So what they argued is saying that if 27% reservation is implemented, there is a chance of wealthy in the OBCs using this ladder to become much more wealthier. See, they have pointed on us. And second thing what they said is, if reservations is in promotions is implemented, all posts will be jumbled and the growth of all the employees will be hindered. So this is the argument. Instead of they going into striking out the OBC reservations, they have contradicted the reservation so that this OBC reservation and Mandal Commission report will fall in such a depth, buried to the extent that it will not come out. Then Honorable Supreme Court then completely overturned this situation, and they consider 27% reservation should not be applicable to the creamy layers of the OBCs. And OBC reservation are not to be made available to the promotions directly. In the first instance of the Mandal Commission itself, there is a sacking of the provisions what have been clearly given. But what has been this creamy layer? The concept of the creamy layer was first brought in this Indira Sahani case. The term creamy layer was coined by Honorable Justice Krishna Iyer in N.M. Thomas case. He said that there is a danger to the reservation system if it is implemented as it is. And he also said that if there is a cake being made, example given in his judgment, if there is a cake being given, the wealthy people will try to take the creamy layer of the cake and remain the last part to others. So that is the situation. But today, if going back to see this situation, I see this proposition was implemented when there was no cake made at all. I mean to say, you all understand what is a cake. This is the definition or example given by Honorable Justice Krishna Iyer in his judgment. Yes, if there was a cake made and the people are trying to have it, then we will look for the equal sharing. But at the time when the Mandal Commission report was there, at the time when Indira Sahani case was there was no proper OBC reservation implemented in this country. That means before the implementation of the reservations in the government, there is a complete strike down on this reservation. It is simple. I will give an example where if we are trying to boil the milk and remove the cake, without boiling the milk, we are trying to remove the cake. Somebody told that, remove the cake, boiling unboiled milk, remove the cream from it. So we will not get the cream also from the milk. Even today, reservation is not implemented properly, neither in educational institutions nor in the employment. There are several government institutions which are still not implemented OBC reservation in admissions. Example, I am fighting one of the recent limelight case for implementation of OBC reservations in national law universities. The people where the law is taught in this country, जहां न्याय के लिए लड़ने वालों को हम तैयार करते हैं, उसी इंस्टीट्यूशंस में अभी तक ओबीसी रिजर्वेशंस का लागू नहीं है. अभी तक there is no reservation in the national law universities, particularly to the OBC reservations. And further, I know that Mr. Karunanidhi is fighting on NEET admission cases, where जहां डॉक्टर्स रेडी करते हैं, हम देश के लिए डॉक्टर्स बनाते हैं, उसी NEET admissions में डॉक्टरों को बनाने में OBC reservations नहीं है. So this is the fate now today in India. And if we see in the employment, most of the university in this India, there is no OBC professor. If at all there is any OBC professor in any of the colleges or universities, it is 1 or 2%, but not that what we call it as 27%. And if you see the Group A positions, it is only 13% is being occupied in the central government Group A positions. Group A is about another 14%. That means half of our reservation is being occupied by the forward caste people. Even today I'm talking about this. And in this situation, we are now today discussing in this 2020 about government proposal to implement the creamy layer once again, adding the salary, farmers and artisans in the creamy layer. First, what we would see is if there is a full complete implementation of reservation, then we can look into the creamy layer, who should be removed out or who should be not bring into this OBC reservation. First thing is, creamy layer should be completely been removed in this country. Only then the complete reservation of this 27% will be enjoyed by these OBCs. Second thing, the 27% blanket reservation for OBCs in employment and education should be implemented. And if you see the Honorable Parliamentary Committee given report, Mr. Ganesh Singh has given the report finding out the complete vacancies in all the employment sector. It is only half it is filled, not the rest half is filled by OBCs in Group A and Group B. Group A and Group B. So there is a need for implementation of this OBC reservation in promotions also. Our Group A officers should become Group A officers. Our Group C officers should become Group B officers. Like if we see how many secretaries are there in Government of India who belong to OBCs, to my extent, not even one or two secretaries are available in the Government of India positions where the top positions are occupied. So while the present situation is this, we must also look into the constitutional provisions of our act. What is the Constitution says? Constitution says Article 15(4), wherein the OBC reservations, the special reservations may be implemented to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, along with the socially and economically backward classes. My learned friends, please understand here our Indian Constitution provision. It says reservation can be implemented for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and socially and educationally backward classes. It is said that for scheduled caste, it is caste said. For when it comes to the OBC, it is said as classes, not the caste. This is the major point what has actually been discussed in the Indira Sahani case, and we lost the case to the extent because our Indian Constitution provision specifies classes. And I have a doubt that tomorrow, who are these socially and educationally backward classes people? When you are not specifying it as a caste, anybody can come. That is the reason why more and more number of castes from the forward communities are coming into OBC classes, and they are fighting to become the OBCs, and the list of the OBCs increasing day by day. So there is a lacuna I feel in the Indian Constitution. So I would request Sri Ganesh ji to take a note of this, so that this point should be clarified to the Government of India, and we have to get it amended, saying that reservation should be implemented for the OBC caste but not the OBC classes. And second is, am I there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes. And the second provision is Article 15(5). It says that special reservation in the admission for the private educational institutions, aided and unaided. See, we have the constitutional provision very clearly specifying Article 15(5) for implementation of OBC reservations in private educational institutions, aided or unaided institutions also. For this, we have to fight for the implementation of these OBC reservations in the private educational institutions. I request Sri Kaushal ji, member National BC Commission, should take up this point and recommend to all the state governments and the central government also to immediately implement the OBC reservations in the private educational institutions as per the provision we have in the constitution. We are not seeking anything more than the constitution. Let us implement the constitutional provisions. And the third one, as per my view, is as per the Article 16(4), any government positions in the public services, if there is no adequate representation from the backward community, backward classes, government can make the provision to recruit only from those backward communities. Article 16(4) clearly specifies that. So I would request our National Commission to jump into these provisions immediately, to recommend all the state governments to find out where there are no representation from the backward classes, maybe from the most backward classes or from the backward classes, and make special provision, make special vacancies to recruit such OBC candidates in those positions so that OBCs will come. I feel all this can be achieved only when we are united, and our leaders like Ganesh Singh ji, who is Parliamentary Committee Chairman, Kaushalendra Singh Patel ji, who is the prominent lead in representing the OBCs before the government. I am sure that this voice will reach to government through these leaders and also through all these dignitaries who are always striving for the betterment of OBCs. Finally, I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity, and particularly Shri Kiran, who is the President for All India OBC Students Association, for inviting me. Jai Hind, Jai OBC. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful address. So maybe we can take some